right. Thank you for joining me. My name is Unicole Unicron. It is my honor to have your attention. We are doing Cam Church in the year of 2023 in October. We just ended our second 24-hour live stream. Was that a year ago that we did the first one? Is this our third year doing it? I don't know. Time isn't real. I have no concept of time. But we are doing multiple years long of these 24-hour streamathons, and it was such an exciting and good time. And we are doing a sermon today on worry versus abundance. I have been preaching about abundance for a solid year, maybe a little bit longer than that, and what abundance means. I tapped into something that I call the miracle timeline. I tapped into something called the dolphin abundance timeline, and I have been working on a class about it. It's not finished, and I apologize about that, but I have been preaching on the content of this class for a good year now, and the reality is that these understandings, this connection to the dolphin abundance timeline, to the miracle timeline, tapped me into a stream of abundance that allowed me to have many of my dreams come true. One of those dreams was buying this property, Uniacres, and it is everything that I dreamed it would be. It's exactly what I manifested. I made big lists of manifestation for the last 15 years, and only after tapping into the dolphin abundance timeline was I able to acquire this property. I also was able to have another one of my dreams come true, which was to become pregnant and have a baby. And that all happened in the last year. And so if you've been following me for a long time, you've seen my life radically transform in the last year. And this is not because of anything other than these truths that I tapped into. And UNICULT is all about these realities, this my lived experience and my understanding of these spiritual realities. These are spiritual realities, okay? Manifestation is a spiritual reality. And how you understand it and how you interface with it and how you interact with it is what allows you to interact with this reality. We have not been taught, we have not been trained in this material matrix, density, third dimension reality, whatever you want to call it, about the truth of manifestation, about the ease of abundance, and about the relaxation of manifestation. And so we go about things in a really strange way, according to the universe, that oftentimes blocks our blessings, and it blocks us from actually being able to receive what the universe wants to give. You hear all these things, but they don't always connect. So the spiritual reality is that the universe wants to bless you. The universe wants you to have what you want. The universe wants you to live in abundance. That's all true. And that can be really confusing when you know that, and yet you're not living in abundance, and you're not living in without worry, and you're living in a state of poverty, and there's capitalism, and there's all these injustices, and you don't have all the privileges afforded to you that other people have afforded. And these things are oftentimes in conflict, and a lot of times the New Age spiritual community gets a lot of flack for being out of touch or out of tune with the more material reality of fear and worry and insecurity and poverty and imbalance and inequity and all of these very real aspects of our day-to-day lives. And then the contrast of this 5D, white ladies usually talking about abundance, okay? And I understand that, okay? And I understand that I'm part of that. But I also did find certain truths that when I felt into them, they unlocked a different reality for me. We can talk about privilege and material reality all we want. I had a lot of things going against me, very severe mental health issues, very severe trauma, very severe, you could call it psychosis, right? But my psychosis, I focused it into a beautiful reality, and belief makes real, and I created that reality. So UNICULT is all about me understanding these spiritual truths, repackaging them, repurposing them, explaining them to you in a way that hopefully makes more sense than these discombobulated realities that don't always make sense. So I've been talking about abundance for a year straight, Maybe you're tired of hearing about it. Maybe it's still not resonating. I'm hoping that in this sermon, there's at least something that you can cling to, that you can hold on to, that you can use as a seed that can also catapult you into a state of material and emotional and true abundance, okay? Because it's easy to say abundance isn't material, but what we're really hoping for is that it does alleviate these pains, the suffering of material reality, especially of the reality of capitalism. And it feels impossible to go against these indoctrinated systems that are invalidating our experiences and that are making us into basically slaves, right? And working all the time and having to give all of our time to our jobs and things like that. If we can integrate the lessons of that and go beyond it internally, we can also, I swear to you, we can also conquer it externally. And the world is changing as people are discovering these truths. The world will change as you integrate this reality. As you integrate your abundance, you will create a more abundant world. Okay, so I think a lot of us, we feel like, oh, well, if I become abundant, I'm leaving everyone else behind. And I don't want to be one of the bad guys. I don't want to be one of those evil rich people. And that's something you have to contend with, and you have to say, wealth doesn't have to be evil. Wealth can be something that I can create a better world with. Wealth can be a tool that I can create a better world with and share that reality with other people. And so there's a lot to it. But when we're talking about abundance, we're talking about true abundance. And I'm saying this all with a grain of salt because I know the reality is I know the 3D reality. But when we're talking about abundance, abundance is a felt reality. That is all it is. Because if you have $5,000 in the bank, $100,000 in the bank, you can still be in worry. And that's why I titled this Worry versus Abundance. You could say it's worry versus trust. Abundance requires trust, but I like worry versus abundance because these are the two forces which are actually in opposition to each other in the sense that it's like love and fear. One cannot exist while the other one exists, right? One takes, they take the place, they take the full place of each other. So abundance is a felt state. You could be surrounded by a loving family. You could be surrounded by a lavish home. You could be surrounded by, you could just win the lottery and you could still be miserable. You could not feel your abundance. The more money you got, the more you could say, all these people around me are trying to get my money. They don't like me for who I am. Or, or you could buy a large property and say, it's falling apart and I don't have enough money to keep it up, my fridge broke, this and that, right? That was me a couple of months ago. Again, I have no consciousness of time whatsoever, so I'm not even going to claim to know when that was, but it did happen recently. And you could have nothing, materially speaking. You could literally be living on the street, not know where your next meal is going to come from, and you could be happy. Now, I'm not saying that that's the way it normally is. Oftentimes, if you have your basic needs taken care of, you're going to be happier. You're going to feel more secure. You're going to be more relaxed. And there is an aspect of the physical reality that needs to be met in order to even accomplish these states of inner peace. But specifically what I want to talk about today, this is something that I've been going through, is this expansion and contraction of abundance. And you could think of it as happiness, you could think of it as your mental health, you could think of it as your financial reality, you could think of it as your romantic reality, whatever, right? You start not having a lot, you get something great, you feel like you're at the top of the world, you're never going to lose it, and then you lose it. Or you feel like, you're back to square one, or you feel like it all got taken away from you, or you feel like it wasn't as good as you imagined, or whatever, right? Like it all comes crashing down. This is something that happens to a lot of us. There's this perpetual expansion and contraction. And I want to argue that there are two ways to think of this experience. It's a very common experience. Like I said, romance, money, emotions, mood. It happens in a lot of different facets of our reality. But as you expand and then you contract, if you appropriately integrate the lessons of that contraction, of that tower moment, of the crash, of whatever it is you thought you had that you lost, and you take that lesson in stride and you keep your peace about you, and you say, this material world isn't going to affect my emotional, spiritual reality, that I'm going to stay connected to my higher self. I'm going to stay connected to my God or my spirit of uni or my something higher or my truth or my higher self or my aliens or whatever you're praying to, your spaghetti monster. Okay, you're going to stay connected to your faith and your peace and your trust. Then that expansion and contraction, instead of turning into a step forward and a step back, it turns into an upward spiral. Because that integration is actually the step up. The integration being the ability to take it all in stride, the ability to disconnect your emotions from your material reality. So abundance is this felt reality. It's a felt reality of peace and relaxation and of knowing that the universe has your back. It's the feeling of handing over all of your needs to your higher self or to your God or to your something higher, to the spirit of uni, and saying, I trust higher forces to provide me with the opportunities to keep me nourished, safe, expanded, etc. I trust my higher reality, my spiritual reality, the spirit of uni, to take care of my soul's purpose, the things that my soul needs, and giving me those opportunities. Sometimes those opportunities are heartbreak. Sometimes those opportunities are losing a job. Sometimes those opportunities are winning the lottery. Sometimes those opportunities are getting, a gift. The opportunities that your higher self gives you aren't always going to look and feel to your ego, to your human self, like abundance. But they are, because we are always living in a state of abundance. If you look at it from the highest possible perspective, let's say you died, you woke up, you said, whoa, Earth was weird. You would say, and I think most of us understand this, you would say, I'm so grateful for all those hard experiences. I'm so grateful I got my heart broke that one time. I'm so grateful I spent, 300 days out of those 2 years crying on the floor. That was so beautiful. What a rich experience that I'm never going to get anywhere else. And how beautiful it was that I was feeling such strong emotions. How beautiful it was that I got to experience this heartbreak, or that person came into my life and then they went on to do something else and I got to do something else. And how beautiful I got to experience that job and then be freed from it. From the highest perspective, it is all truly a gift from your higher self. It is truly all part of your soul's growth. It is truly all part of what your soul really wants to experience. Enjoy your worries. You may never have them again. So when you can tap into the reality that everything is a gift, everything is abundance, then you can start to deconstruct and detach your own emotional interpretation, your context of good versus bad. That's a good thing that happened to me. That's a bad thing that happened to me. You can start feeling that everything is a good thing, and that's when you exit the duality. When you exit the duality, that is what puts you into 5D. And then when you're in 5D, you see that it's all one. It's all a blessing. It's all a gift. And you can just have this contentment. It's not ecstatic joy. It's not total depression. It's just constant contentment. Yes, this is my life. I'm living it. This is all part of the process. This is all part of the experience. I'm telling you this sermon because this is stuff that's hard for me. This is stuff that I need to constantly hear and constantly learn about and constantly integrate, because I go on a roller coaster of emotions when I see that my material reality is not looking like I think it should look. My ego wants so badly to control the reality and say, I'm supposed to have this type of relationship, I'm supposed to have this type of job, I'm supposed to have this type of money coming in, I'm supposed to blah, 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 blah. But my higher self knows, and deep down I know, that that's not what I really want. What I really want is the contraction and expansion, the contrast of experiences, and the beauty and the richness of what that offers. So abundance is not only a feeling, but it's the realization that all things are abundance. And as I'm talking about manifestation, you might have the question, how does a feeling state actually lead to material riches? Because that's really what we're talking about, right? At the beginning of this sermon, I said I want you all to experience financial wealth. I think that that's an important thing to experience on earth if it's something that you want to experience. Not everybody wants to experience it, but if you have the desire to experience material reality, comfort, and luxury, then that should be available to you, because that's the point of being embodied. The first time I went to a Korean spa and I got to sit in the jade tubs and get a massage and have all these different experiences, I said, duh, of course we're supposed to be living this way. This shouldn't even be luxury. This should be the standard for living, because we're embodied. If you're in a physical body, you deserve to sleep on a comfortable mattress, to eat healthy, delicious foods. You deserve to experience clean air and clean water and sunshine. Okay, to me, that's luxury. Being on a boat, that's luxury. It is, because you're on the water, you're in the air, you feel the air. Whatever you envision as luxury and abundance, you deserve to feel that if you want to. So how does this idea that everything is abundance lead to actual material abundance? A lot of us would think, well, if I'm just accepting of everything and I don't fight against it, then I'm going to end up in worse and worse situations. That's kind of what we've been told. That's kind of our understanding of reality. I have to fight for what I have. I have to work hard for what I have. And this is a lie. This is an absolute lie. It is a complete distraction from the way that the universe actually operates. And we've built our nationalist pride in America on this idea of hard work. And even if you say, like, I'm an American, that kind of means I'm a hard worker. And I really don't think that that's true, in the sense that hard work actually leads to success, even in America. Okay, I think that that is a propagandist lie meant to keep workers working hard. And we aren't going to need that for much longer as things become automated. We don't need an enslaved class of workers who can barely get their needs met. We can all live in luxury. We can all live with an abundant mindset. We can all live with at least our basic needs met. Easily, it is possible. We have the resources. We just have to learn how to distribute them properly and integrate them into our lives, in our society. So you might think, how does a feeling lead to the manifestation of physical reality? That's not what I've heard. That's not what I've experienced. That's not what I've understood. All my life I've had to work hard for what I have. I understand that that's been the program. I understand that we've integrated that programming so deep in our minds. But the reality of the universe is that relaxation creates more relaxation. That trust creates more trust. That love creates more love. That abundance creates more abundance. That feeling peace creates more peace. That feeling trust creates more trust. I think I already said that one. And the reality is that worry and hard work are actually resistance. It's such a strange thing, and I was trying really hard to think about how to describe this any other way. But when you're in a state of longing or feeling like you have to work hard for something, you create that reality. You create the reality that if you're longing for something and you're like, I want that so bad, you're feeling that that thing is very far away from you. And when you're feeling that that thing is very far away from you, that thing is very far away from you, because feeling is reality. Okay, belief makes real. What you feel is more important than what really exists. Okay, your feeling state is all that matters. So if you're longing for something, you're feeling that it's far away, and if you're feeling that it's far away, it is far away. I always laugh when I see on people's Instagrams, aspiring actress, aspiring photographer, aspiring artist. Why are you aspiring? Just be an artist. Just be a photographer. Just be a model. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you've never booked anything. Just say you're a model. Whatever you want to be, you can be. Nobody's going to stop you. Even if they say something, just say, I don't care. I'm a pop star cult leader. We've got 17 people watching this. Is that what most people would think of as a pop star? I don't fucking care. I feel like a pop star cult leader. And so I am. And I've been saying that since before anything. I've been saying it for a long time. I've been saying it before it was reasonable or rational to say it. And I created that reality for myself because I believed it. Because I brought myself into the feeling state that it was true. And when you're in that feeling state, it's true. And when something's true, because you feel it's true, other people can see and feel that it's true also. They might not know how to handle it. They might have a meltdown because they've never seen anybody take ownership over their definition of themselves before. Take ownership over their own energy. And so the real question is, how do you ignore the reality of poverty? How do you feel that you're not poor if you're poor, right? And that was always my question when I was trying to manifest myself out of poverty. How the fuck are you supposed to manifest yourself out of poverty? If you're poor, you're poor. How do you feel like you're not poor if you're poor? It makes no sense. If I can't pay my rent, I can't pay my rent. That's the reality. How do I ignore the reality? And the answer is to realize that it's not real. Not to say that there aren't consequences, okay? If you can't pay your rent, you get evicted. That's a thing that happens. That can be very stressful. You end up homeless, whatever, right? There's a physical reality that happens to that, and of course your emotional reality is going to be affected by that. But most things are not as dire as that. Most of the time, it's actually smaller worries that actually don't have an impact on your physical state of being. So if it's a physical state of being, yeah, it's going to affect you. You're going to have a reaction. But you have to understand that most of the time we are losing ourselves to worry and fear. It's not actually having any kind of physical consequence on our reality. And so as you start to feel into, when is this really having a physical consequence, and when is it all imaginary? When is this just numbers in my bank account? Versus when is this a real actual physical danger? And the more you analyze that, the more you're going to realize a lot of our worries are just mental. They're just mental worries. Okay, so I don't pay, my electricity bill, and then they send me another bill and they say that there's a late fee. I can go into a spiral about it and I can start freaking out, or I can just say, that's not real. I'm going to pay it when I pay it. I'm going to pay it before the electricity gets shut off. Why would I let that destroy my peace? Why would I let that thing that is not real, that shouldn't even exist anyway, we should all have our basic needs met once again, why should I let that reality of the matrix that should not even supposed to exist completely take me out of my peace if it's not even going to affect me? So just realize the physical reality, the mental reality, these things are not even having to have an effect on your emotional reality. Oftentimes they do, and that's okay. Just catch it and recognize, do I have to feel this way right now? Or can I take this in stride? Can I take this in peace? Can I hold on to my peace? Can I create a peaceful world from within and allow that to affect the external reality? And the answer is to calm your nervous system, to learn nervous system regulation. If you're someone who was born in a chaotic upbringing, you had an emotionally insecure parent, or you had an addict parent, or you had neglect as a child, whatever you might have had, trauma, you have PTSD, CPTSD, autism, literally, if you're trans, any kind of these major things that can create trauma because society is insane and doesn't make space for us, whatever, your nervous system might not be regulated. And you might not have ever learned how to regulate your nervous system. And I've done a lot of sermons about this, but really what you need to do is learn how to breathe slowly, find your center, find your peace, experience physical reality, and learn how to be here now, which is to feel your body in this moment fully without any thoughts. You don't have to have no thoughts, no feelings. You can have no thoughts, but feel what you're feeling in this moment. And I think that's the thing that people get confused. No thoughts. I can't just stop existing. Well, shift gears from thinking to feeling. Okay, and if you can sit in that felt state and just relax your nervous system and feel your feelings, and it's okay if your feelings cause your nervous system to go up and down. Feel them until it equals out. Don't try to stop them from going up and down, but feel it until it relaxes. Listen to yourself. You will be able to calm your nervous system. And when your nervous system is calm, the reality of poverty ceases to be so dramatic. Okay? You can also realize that the way you were taught about wealth is not true. The idea of working hard, I mean, that whole idea of having to work to the bone and work hard and pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, you have to understand that that is a program, and you have to adopt new ways of thinking, and you have to stand up for them. You have to remind yourself, relaxation will create more opportunities for relaxation, and that is abundance for me. If you want to be sitting by a beach somewhere, the way to do that is not to work hard. The way to do that is to close your eyes and imagine what you would feel like if you were sitting by a beach, and try to feel that feeling all the time. If that's the feeling you want to feel, then focus on that feeling. Some of us like the feeling of work. Okay, I like the feeling of work. I don't mind the feeling of getting all wrapped up in something and going for it. But I shouldn't think that getting all wrapped up in work is going to equal relaxation, because it won't. All getting all wrapped up in work does is create more work and get me involved in more work, and then I'm doing more work. If you don't want to have the feeling of all this work and you want to have the feeling of relaxation, you need to focus on relaxation. Okay, so you have to acknowledge that the way you've been taught about wealth creation is not true, and you have to remind yourself constantly, relaxation is the way to more relaxation. Focusing on effortlessness is the way to feeling like everything is effortless. It's not effort leads to effortlessness. And people are going to challenge you on this. People are going to think you're insane. People are going to be flabbergasted. They won't understand how you ended up living on a beach, making enough money to live comfortably, and you're happy all the time by relaxing. People are going to lose their minds because the program runs deep, and the program probably runs deep within you too. Effortlessness leads to effortlessness. It doesn't mean that you don't do anything. You are handing over your worry to your higher self, and you say to your higher self, or the spirit of uni, or whoever, you say, I trust you to provide me with opportunities that are aligned for me, that help nourish me and help me feel good and help me get the energy that I want in my life. And then it's up to you to take advantage of those opportunities. These are custom opportunities given to you specifically, curated by the divine. And you have to be brave and respond to those divine opportunities. But until they appear in your life, all you have to do is pray. All you have to do is pray. Hand over your worries to the divine and pray. And have gratitude. I'm in this experience of contraction right now, like I was talking about, the expansion and contraction of wealth. So I was making a lot of money and now I'm not. And I have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of financial responsibilities. And I have to constantly and consistently remind myself that this is the universe redirecting my attention to what really matters. Does it really matter if I have savings or not? Does it really matter if I can do another project or not? Does it really matter that I can't buy a new art supply when I already have enough art supplies to do other things? No. What really matters? What really matters right now is my rest and my time with my family and eating good and feeling good and appreciating what I have. If I get lost in the worry, I cannot feel the abundance. And so the contraction is the opportunity to hold your peace. And when you hold that peace, it is the integration of worry. And that integration of worry steps you up to a greater expansion next time. That expansion then becomes an upward spiral because you have integrated the lessons of your current state. And you are able to hold more light when you expand. Ask yourself why you're focusing so much on physical reality and if it's actually a physical threat or if you're just creating a mental reality. One of the other tricks you can do is accept the worst and best outcomes. If you lost your job and got broken up with and everything, if you lost everything, could you accept that reality? Could you be okay if you lost everything? And if you could, then you're in a very powerful place, because then you're not gonna live in fear. You're not gonna live in resistance to anything. If you're not living in resistance, you can go with the flow of the universe. So if you can accept the worst thing, again, this sounds like insane. Like, why would you accept the worst possible thing that could happen? Wouldn't that just create it? No, actually, because by accepting it, you're actually creating peace around it. You're not having all this charged up energy, and you're just allowing that to flow. Like, okay, well, if that happened, I would figure it out. The divine would take care of me. I would figure it out. It would be an interesting experience. My higher self would probably get a kick out of it. I don't want that to happen. I hope it doesn't happen. I'm going to work so that it doesn't happen. But if it did, I would not be destroyed. I would survive it and probably be better for it, if that was an opportunity that my higher self wanted to give me. And you can accept the best outcomes as well. I think a lot of us don't understand that if we are to get all the things that we ever wanted, it would be a complete shift in our self-identity. If you get everything that you ever wanted, you are no longer the person who wanted the thing. You can no longer be the person who wants or longs for the thing. As soon as you get the things that you want, you can no longer be the same person. You have to become someone new. So you have to accept the best possible outcome as well. The best possible outcome is that you get everything that you want. You have to radically change who you are. Life becomes easy. Maybe you don't have anything left to live for. Got nothing left to live for now that I found my fame. That's what Lana Del Rey said. She wanted fame so bad, and then she got it, and now what? Now what does she have to live for? Her music changed. Her life changed. She had to change as a person because she no longer was the person trying to get famous. You have to accept the best possible outcome and understand that that might not be what you actually would expect. And when you expect that and you accept it, you're going to remove the charge of energy and allow things to flow. The universe is redirecting you to the things that actually matter when you're going through these contraction states. And you have to have full faith and confidence that you can accomplish anything on earth. You can. You have to understand that. If you believe that, it's true. Belief makes real. You can accomplish anything that you want. Anything that you believe you can accomplish, you can accomplish. People say, oh, what about flying? I think you can. If you really dedicate yourself to flying and levitating, I think you could fly and levitate. I really believe that. If that's what you believe and that's what you want, you can go find some monk who can teach you how to do that. Anything you want to do, I believe you can accomplish, okay? It's a lot easier if you live in the reality of harm none, because that's what the universe wants. And well, that's what you want. It's what we all want. Yeah, it's what the universe wants. Things on earth take time. Okay. So, as you feel into the felt state, It might not look the way you expect it to look on the outside. But the truth is that if you can accomplish abundance as an internal state, you're rich. Instantly rich. That's why I call it get rich quick. Because if you can feel that you're rich, if you can feel the relaxation and the effortlessness of abundance, you have it. It's done. You did it. Physical reality will catch up to your felt state. It will just take some time. But talking about time, the feeling state, the thing that really matters, that's instant. There's 2 more things I want to leave you with that I've said before. I think they're useful. If you needed to manifest a banana in the next 10 minutes, could you do that? I think most of us could, right? A banana is a reasonable thing to manifest. You could go to a 7-Eleven and get a banana. You might have a banana in your kitchen. Even if you don't have any money, you could probably find enough change to buy a banana. Once I went to buy a banana and they said, just take it. It was worth so little money to them. They just gave it to me, So the idea of this that I'm trying to say is that if you think of your biggest dreams with the same effortlessness as you think of a banana, if you can see that your dreams and everything that you want is, the universe has it right there around the corner for you, right down the street, okay? Around the corner, tomorrow, the next day, the next 10 minutes, it's there. It's waiting for you. It's coming towards you. It's unfolding. It's as easy as that. That's how easy it can be. And the reason why it's that easy is because belief makes real. Again, physical reality takes time, but emotionally, it's right there. And when you manifest things and you tell your higher self what you want, imagine it like you're at a restaurant. You go to a restaurant, you put in your order, and then you continue doing whatever you're doing. You talk to your friend, you look at your phone, you wait patiently. You're not, where's my food? Are they going to make it? Are they going to make it like I want? Are they going to make it like I ordered it? Is it going to come the way I want? Is it going to be overdone or well done? Is it going to be too salty? You don't spend all that time thinking. You don't worry about it. You just say, I ordered what I ordered. I trust that there's a kitchen in the back that's making it. You're not worried about it. You just let the universe take your order and then deliver it to you. And when the universe delivers you a plate of food, it's up to you to take the opportunity to pick up your fork and eat it. And if it's not good, it's your responsibility to tell the universe, this isn't what I ordered. This isn't what I wanted. I don't like it like this. And order something new. That's abundance. Okay? That's abundance. You don't have to settle for a dish you don't like. You can order and order and order and order. Because a lot of times we order a meal and then we want another one in just a couple more hours, right? That's just the nature of reality. You want new things. You want new things as time goes on. You don't want what you had before. That's normal. Just like eating food. You order your favorite meal. Okay, you eat it 10 times. Maybe you want something different. That's okay. That is life. So the universe has your back. Remember, abundance is a felt state, and physical reality is real. Capitalism is bullshit. But you can manifest whatever you want if you just focus on it every single day. Tell your higher self. Oh, there's one more thing. I saw it on TikTok and I want to share it with you. It was really powerful. It's called scripting. And you take a notebook and on the first page you write, I am so grateful for whatever it is you're manifesting. So I did this the other day. I said, I'm so grateful for the wonderful people who are renting rooms at Uniacres, who are totally aligned and who are all getting along great, right? That's what I wrote down. I'm so grateful for my health. I'm so grateful for a good night's sleep. I'm so grateful. Whatever you want, you write it down as if you're already grateful for that thing. Then guess what you do? The next day, you write the same thing. And the next day, you write the same thing. And I swear to you, if you do this for just 3 days, a week, a month, 3 months, your life will be radically different. Because you're programming your subconsciousness to expect these things and to be grateful for them as if they're already here. You're moving your energy body into that relaxed felt state that these things are possible, they're within reach, and you're not going to have that resistance towards them or that longing. You're going to be the vibrational match for them to come into your life. As you become a vibrational match for abundance, you actually eradicate poverty in the world. This is not a selfish thing. This is a selfless thing because you are doing it for yourself and for the world. Thank you all so much. Congratulations to Unicult for a second beautiful year of a streamathon. Can't wait for a third. I want you all to go have a great day. And if you stayed up all night watching the streamathon, go get some sleep. Uni bless.